Hello, everyone. It's me, Vinny Lospinuso. I know I'm a bit late to the party here, but I've been busy at work and whatnot, and this is the earliest I've been able to get the video out. So, yeah, I didn't think it would be so soon or so sudden, but yeah, you read the title correctly. Kevin Conroy, the man that is the man that has voiced Batman, that Batman, one of the most famous fictional characters in history, easily one of the most famous comic book characters in history, period. Most famous superheroes in history, especially in film, the most successful superhero in film history, arguably. Outside of Superman, maybe the most profitable comic book character ever, arguably. He voiced him for 30 years. And he passed away on November 10th at the age of 66, just 3 weeks shy of his 67th birthday, after a brief battle with colon cancer. He's survived by his husband, Vaughn, and his sister and his brother. Very, very sad. Very, very sad for someone that meant so much to that character. When people talk about who is the best Batman, people think of the live action side. And there's many discussions like Michael Keaton or Christian Bale. Very recently, Robert Pattinson. There's a lot of push, a lot of early buzz for Robert Pattinson, even though his movie just came out. Ben Affleck, of course, the DCU, he's always going to have supporters. And, Val Kilmer and George Clooney even played him in a movie. But when it comes to like the live action side, there's one person that's going to be known first and foremost for that without any competition. It's Adam West for the live action. When you go to the animated side, DC has not been doing well as Marvel when it comes to live action, but when it comes to animated, they always hit it right out of the park. And the crown jewel of their exceptional foray for animation has been Batman the Animated Series, which some people consider as one of the greatest animated shows or just shows period ever made. And he was the one that voiced him. And he continued to voice him for 3 decades in other TV shows that were also in the same universe or shows in other universes. He voiced him in games such as the Arkham series, Multiverses, and numerous other games, Mortal Kombat even. Many people have voiced Batman over the years, but there's always been one constant throughout all of this. The one that has always been the most famous, the most iconic, and the most consistent throughout the last 30 years, and it's been Kevin Conroy. Kevin Conroy, just as Adam West is the epitome of Batman in terms of who he represents, or the most iconic interpretation of him, the one he's most known for when it comes to film, Kevin Conroy is that for animation. For voice actors, when you think of the voice of Batman, when you think of Batman's iconic voice, you think of Kevin Conroy's voice for Batman. And it's not like he's just on Batman. He's obviously acted in person for many other roles too, and he's voice acted for other characters. But hey, listen, if you're mostly known for doing Batman, Batman is not a bad thing to be known for, especially as you've done it like Kevin Conroy has the last 3 decades without skipping a beat and still put in exceptional performance after exceptional performance after exceptional performance. He would get Emmy Awards for his voice acting. He'd get numerous honors, but it's not just the awards that define him. What defines him is just the personality he would bring. He would bring character into Batman with his voice, into Bruce Wayne with his voice, with his delivery, with his acting talent. He made that character, despite being animated, made it just as real and as human as you or me with what he went through growing up. Growing up in Connecticut, this man was gay. Yeah, he was. I had no idea until until today that he was a gay man. And with those struggles in life came a lot of hardships, and it culminated to having some of that anger and that upsetment and bringing it into his role of Batman when he got the audition from Warner Brothers 30 years ago, and the rest was history. When you think of these iconic voices for DC, Tim Daly, George Newbern, that's been debated. Mark Hamill, just like Kevin Conroy, did the definitive voice of the Joker. Clancy Brown, who's also known for Mr. Krabs, but he's also known as the definitive voice for many people as Lex Luthor. Kevin Conroy for Batman. Like, what an iconic list of characters. Just deep backstories, deep lore, and just very rich characters and rich deliveries and great writing, great animation, really nice storytelling, something that everyone, no matter if you're a kid or an adult, you love it. I watched those Batman DVDs nonstop growing up. Like, those things, those boxes are mangled beyond belief with how much me and my brother watched them growing up. We love Batman. We love superheroes. My brother especially is a huge Batman fan. Kevin Conroy is his favorite Batman voice, as with many other people. No question. It's very difficult to put voice actors in that high echelon for their recognizability. Like, Mel Blanc is one of them. Frank Welker, Jim Cummings, Rob Paulson, Tara Strong, Candy Milo. There's so many like iconic voice actors. Eric Boz is now breaking through. Joe Alasky, and Mark Hamill, Clancy Brown. But now Kevin Conroy, despite being known for really mostly one character, that voice was so iconic. It was able to transcend and transform into like the Tom Kennys and the Rob Paulsons and the Frank Welkers and the Peter Cullens and all these other famous voice actors. And even though he did one character mostly, it was as impactful as many of these other actors for what he contributed to the table and how he put in solid performance after solid performance again and again and again. It's the epitome of greatness. And there's never going to be anyone like him. He could be often imitated, but he will never be duplicated. Never be duplicated. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're Roger Craig Smith or Reno Romano or anyone else. When it comes to voicing Batman, you are setting yourself up for failure if you're going to try to imitate the greatness of Kevin Conroy. You can't. You just simply can't. You're going to set yourself up for failure. You need to do it in your own image, because Kevin set the bar so high that being able to try to top him is just a recipe for disaster for everyone, because Kevin was just that good at playing Batman. And in my opinion, if we set aside live action and animated, because of just how consistent he was for 30 years for the role, he really is Batman, in my opinion. He even got to play him live action in a CW show. I forget which one. So in my opinion, he is Batman. Yeah, that's right. More than Adam West, more than Michael Keaton, more than Christian Bale, more than Ben Affleck, and yes, even more than Robert Pattinson. Now, why do I view it that way? Well, first off, for Robert Pattinson, he just started. Ben Affleck, his performance has always been seen pretty mixed. Christian Bale, critically, the Dark Knight trilogy is probably the best version of Batman in terms of just adaptations. Michael Keaton only played in 2 appearances. And while Adam West is mostly known for the role, it was also a completely different Batman tonally, and just writing was different. The acting was also a very different style. He was just a very, very different Batman. And even then, it was really just the 60s show and the 2 animated movies that were made later on in the mid-2010s. However, Kevin Conroy, no matter what it was, he was always able to take on the challenge and the role, no matter the different universe, no matter the circumstances. So, in my personal opinion, Kevin Conroy is the ultimate Batman. He is Batman. He will always be known as Batman. He was so, when he died, it was such a huge news to everyone on Twitter that it even overtook Veterans Day in terms of retweets. It overtook Veterans Day, a national holiday, and if you count Remembrance Day, an international holiday. Understand that, yeah, he may have voiced one of the most famous characters ever created, but it was the one that people view as the definitive voice of this iconic character. The definitive voice. The definitive version of this character. The definitive version. The ultimate version. The creme de la creme. The cream of the crop. Kevin Conroy is Batman, and everyone will always view him as Batman. My generation, Gen Z, Millennials, Gen X's, even Gen Alpha to an extent, 4 different generations got to say that was their Batman. 4 different generations. Gen X, Millennials, Gen Z, Gen Alpha. That's 4. 4 generations. Even beforehand, they probably saw their kids watching it and they got used to him as well. Just 4 generations of Batman. It was all played by one guy, Kevin Conroy. What a legend. Very, very sad loss for everyone. I don't care if you care for comic books or not. No one can deny that his voice is iconic. What he brought to this character is iconic, and he will always be a part of this character's legacy. You will never be able to tell the story of this character or DC Comics as a whole without mentioning the name Kevin Conroy ever again, because the man was truly special. Bob Kane made an amazing character. Bill Finger wrote the blueprint for an amazing character. And you've had these amazing people that come and follow suit, like Adam West and Michael Keaton and many others that have taken the cape and the cowl of one of the greatest comic book characters of all time, Batman, Bruce Wayne. But there will always be one that could say they touch the lives of not just one generation, but almost every generation. And that is you, Kevin. Thank you so much for everything you've done for this character. And I hope your work continues to inspire more people, even though you're no longer with us. Thank you for everything. Thank you for what you meant to me. Thank you for what you meant to my brother, my dad, my mom. Thank you, seriously, for touching the lives of millions, if not billions of people across the world, for what you've done for Batman. Thank you, Kevin. We will never forget you. Well, guys, that's it. Make sure to subscribe to Zen62 Media. Hit like on this video. If you want to be notified for more, hit the notification bell. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care, everyone. And rest in peace, Kevin Conroy.